Politicians, lawyers and lecturers among 14 ministers in new cabinet. More than 100 feared dead in Cuba airliner crash. Good afternoon, you're watching News on 2 with me, Annette Christie. 9 more ministers were named into the cabinet by Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad yesterday, bringing to 14 the total number of its initial lineup. According to Tun Dr. Mahathir, the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Muhammad V had given his consent to the appointment of the ministers, who will be sworn in at 11:30 a.m. on Monday at Istana Negara. Their appointments are in accordance with Paragraph B, Clause 2, Article 43 of the Federal Constitution. The East Coast Rail Link ECRL project may cost more than the previously announced figure of 55 billion ringgit. Revealing this, chairman of the team of eminent persons, Tun Daim Zainuddin, said it was discovered that the investment value of 55 billion ringgit only covered phase 1 of the project and that phase 2 will cost an additional sum of at least 11 billion ringgit.
Okay, I say it's not 55. It's only the first phase. If you include the second phase, probably another 11 billion. Yeah? If you take into account interest rate and all, probably much more.
Tun Daim said this in a press conference held in Kuala Lumpur. Asked if the project should continue as planned, he said that the decision will be made by the government. Tun Daim, however, added that any decision made will not affect the two-way relationship between Malaysia and China, which is involved in the project. The controversial ECRL project entails building a 688-kilometre railway from Port Klang, Selangor to Tumpat, Kelantan, with spur lines connecting the ports of Kemaman and Kuantan. Commenting on 1MDB, Tun Daim said Malaysia will receive the assistance of at least 4 countries, namely Switzerland, Singapore, United States and probably in Luxembourg, as the government works towards recovering back the 1MDB funds.
Previously, when they asked for help, our agency department refused to help. I suppose now, with the new government, with transparency, accountability, rule of law, if we believe in all these things and practice this, I'm sure they'll give all the help that's needed.
Meanwhile, Tun Daim said that businessman Low Teck Joe, or Joe Low, who is linked to the 1MDB scandal, should return to Malaysia to assist investigation into the matter.
The best witness will be Joe Low.
Do we know where he is?
Roughly. And I would like him to come and assist me.
Is it true that he's in Taiwan?
I know where he is, but it doesn't matter. Roughly, I know where he is. And I hope, since he claims he's innocent, he should come back and assist us.
At the same press conference, Tun Daim said that the abolishment of the Goods and Services Tax (GST) and the reintroduction of the Sales and Services Tax (SST) will not have an adverse effect on the country's economy. He said that the government will instead be able to generate 30 billion ringgit in the collection of SST on June 1st, 2018.
For the last 7 years, we didn't have GST. There was no problem. In the last 3 years. And we think we can overcome all this problem. It's not a problem. The problem here is corruption and wastage.
Meanwhile, touching on fuel prices, Tun Daim said the rising prices will provide short-term fiscal space, but stressed that it is important that the SST is implemented as soon as possible to partly offset the shortfall in revenue from the scrapping of the GST. The price of fuel is expected to be at $65 per barrel and may reach $100 by the end of this year. Former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak has been requested to be present at the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission office on Tuesday to assist into the investigation of SRC International Sdn Bhd. An MACC source said Datuk Seri Najib will be asked to provide his statement on the case. SRC International was a subsidiary of One Malaysia Development Berhad, 1MDB, until it was placed under the Ministry of Finance in 2012. It was reported that on January 26, 2016, Attorney General Tan Sri Muhammad Apandi Ali had confirmed that Datuk Seri Najib had not committed any crime relating to the case involving a fund of 2.6 billion ringgit in SRC International. Police yesterday seized 72 bags of jewelleries, various currencies and other valuable items from a luxury condominium at Jalan Raja Chulan, Kuala Lumpur, believed to be connected to Datuk Seri Najib. Other raids were also held during the week and is believed to be in connection to the 1MDB scandal. Felda Global Venture Holding Berhad, FGV, lauds the government's non-interference stand with regards to government-linked companies or GLCs. Its President and Chief Executive Officer Datuk Zakaria Arshad said there will no longer be any political interference as guaranteed by the team of eminent persons.
Saya sangat menyokong dengan kerajaan baru ini yang memberikan kebebasan kepada GLC macam FGV untuk bertindak sebagai tanpa interference, tanpa campur tangan daripada politik dan membiarkan perkara ini diurus oleh profesional. Jadi itu perkara yang kita sangat menerima dengan sangat sukalah.
Datuk Zakaria had earlier briefed the team of eminent persons on the operation and administration of FGV. The briefing was also attended by the National Felda Settlers' Children Association Chairman, Mazlan Aliman, Felda's former Director General, Datuk Hanapi Suhada, Felda Investment Cooperation Sdn Bhd Chairman, Datuk Syed Muhammad Syed Ibrahim, and Felda Berhad CEO, Datuk Zulkarnain Mat Yusof. That last item concludes this afternoon's edition of News on 2. In our top story, politicians, lawyers and lecturers among 14 ministers in new cabinet to be sworn in on Monday. Join us again at 7 tonight for more updates. Till then, I'm Annette Christie. Thanks for watching.